This other thing.
Yep.
So now you have them sort of making that little bit of product management. Are we doing the right thing for the market decision of all the things we can work on? So there's that 20% there. And then they needed some skills, some assistance to help break down the stories, to make them consumable in small enough chunks that you can get flow to actually see and get the feedback you're looking for in a agile environment. That's the other thing that we haven't really talked about is really the product owner has to help craft things that the feedback flow is fast.
Yeah.
Right? Too often, the product management will say, hey, we need this big workflow. Yeah, that workflow is going to take 3 months, 4 months to build, but we need to get some flow faster so we can start saying, is this actually going the right direction, as opposed to waiting the 3, 4, 5 months, finally delivering, going, well, that was close. But not quite what we wanted.
So you're saying like a product owner would work with product management to go find a couple of alpha customers to review something that they're building to get feedback in that context?
Not just alpha customers, but even say, okay, let's go with an ultrasound machine I worked on, right? So we want to be able to do an ultrasound with this new type of equipment and update the software and make it more user-friendly and all that. Things on this thing were going to take 10, 11 months to build. The product owner's job was to start saying, can we craft something in a month that doesn't do everything that we want to do, but does just enough of something that we can start showing it to real doctors, real people who would use our ultrasound machine and say, is it this better than what you've used before? Are we making investments in the right areas for you to say, I would purchase this now, as opposed to going, nah, my old machine works just fine, thanks.
Converging.
Right? You got to converge the hardware, the software, the firmware to something that we can show to a real user, saying, here's your workflow. Not all of them, but here's your workflow. Is it working? And we can learn something in 3 months rather than 11 months. Jenny?
And I think this is a real problem. I mean, we're getting out of a little bit product management, product ownership, but if you link it together, if you say that product management is really looking at that big picture, the marketplace, that thing that maybe is going to take us 10, 11 months, right? And now we're translating that into work that the product owners are doing. There is often a real breakdown there where we don't do what Earl's saying and say, okay, let's work together to find out how we incrementally deliver shippable, meaningful value. I love Earl's term value paths, incremental value paths that take a sprint or two for us to really be able to look at and then do that loop backwards and maybe show it to actual customers and get real feedback. I think Earl and I have seen a ton of this. Maybe there is a great vision for what you're trying to do, but then you're halfway through a 3-month project, a 6-month project, a year-long project, and you don't have even kind of you have a bunch of bits and pieces running around, right? You have a lot of inventory, but you don't actually have anything that you can vet with the marketplace and say, did the money that we spent in this last month and a half or 3 months actually get us closer to something that's going to hit that market goal that we're trying to accomplish? And if you can put that together, where you're really finding ways to get good input from a marketing perspective decomposed into small value paths that the teams can build, that then you can loop back and get that feedback, I think you've got nirvana. Now you have what Agile wanted you to have, and you probably even have it at scale. Right? We've often lost what Agile was really trying to do, which was make sure we're building the right things for the right people as soon as we possibly can. And we want product managers and product owners in the boat together, rowing the same direction and doing their parts of it to make sure that we're really accomplishing that.
I like how you're just sort of dividing the line here between product management and product owners. With product managers, really needed to be saying, I need to look at big picture kind of stuff. I need to look at huge chunks of value, full value propositions, and how to place that in the market, where my product owner needs to take those big pictures and slice it, chop it up into consumable bits that we can produce on a ongoing basis with a constant delivery of value of value flow. I was mentioning to Jenny before we came on live here that Safe 6.0 just came out, scaled agile.